Hello everyone, this is Orlando from A Collector's Dream. And today I want to share a couple of things. I want to share I don't have a lot of autograph cards, as far as I'm talking about, vintage or on-card autographs, like the TTM type things. I don't have a lot of those, but I do want to share my favorites that I have. I picked my top 5 favorites and a couple of extras. But before I get into that, I wanted to talk a little bit about this place. And this place has some meaning to me because I met a Hall of Famer, not a Hall of Famer, but I met an incredible pitcher who accomplished something that will never be beaten, and that is Johnny Vander Meer. And Johnny Vander Meer is the only pitcher in history to pitch back-to-back no-hitters. And like I said, nobody will ever beat that. You'd have to have 3 back-to-back no-hitters, and that'll never happen, especially nowadays. He pitched the entire games. So the reason I'm showing you this Polio Brothers chicken, and I'm talking about Johnny Vander Meer, is because there's an awesome video that came out, one of the best videos I've seen, baseball card collection. And he just started. He has less 30-something subs. I gave him a shout out, a post yesterday, and you have to check out that video, and I will definitely put a link to it below. And you have to check out the story of his wife's grandmother about Johnny Vander Meer, that she has a personal connection to him. And this is my personal connection to Johnny Vander Meer, because Johnny Vander Meer basically had lunch with me. And I just, my last name is on there, but this is Johnny Vander Meer. When I lived in Tampa, I was in sales, advertising, and stuff like that. And Polio Brothers was a very popular restaurant at the time. They were there for many years, and here it is. And I think they're still there on 2302 South McDill. They're on the corner of McDill and San Miguel, all the way down the little peninsula there of Tampa. And I knew the owners of this place. I talked to them and stuff, and they knew I collected baseball and stuff, and they told me, oh yeah, we have a baseball he's an old man. He was an old retired player that comes here and eats almost every single day. And he eats the chicken every day, the same thing on the menu. That's what he has every single day. And I happened to go in there one day, and he says, hey, remember I was telling you? There he is, right over there sitting. And he was sitting alone in the table, eating his chicken. So I kind of waited, and I placed an order there. And by the time my order came, he was kind of almost finished. So I went over to him, and they had told me it was Johnny Vander Meer. So I went over to him, and I talked to him, started talking to him, and told him that I knew him about his feat and his what he had accomplished, and I was a baseball collector, and the history of baseball and all that stuff, and what a nice man. He finished eating, and he sat there and probably talked to me for close to a half hour, while I was eating and stuff. And he was just telling me about his baseball and spring training and Tampa and the Tampa area and things like that, because that's where he was living. And he did spring training here, and he loved the area. He talked a lot about the area and stuff, because I'd recently moved there a few years ago, and we talked a little bit of baseball. And, in those days, you didn't have I didn't have anything to record. I didn't have really a camera, because you didn't have on your phone, you didn't have a camera on your phone at all. I mean, this was back a long time ago. And so anyway, I just wanted to share that I had lunch with Johnny Vander Meer, great guy. He was kind of a He was an old guy by the time I met him. He was kind of short type guy, not real short, but not a tall guy. But when I shook his hands were huge. He had the biggest hands, and I've shaken a lot of hands of a lot of players. And the one that I could tell you was closest to him was Willie Mays. Willie Mays also has huge hands. But this guy had big hands, and it was just, super nice guy, super friendly. He was just there hanging out by himself, having lunch. Of course, he was retired. Nobody even knew who he was at that time. But Johnny Vander Meer, check out the video. I'll link it below. It's an incredible story. And so I want to share, just before I share some of my favorite autographs on cards, because I have tons of autographs that are on actual, the postcards and stuff like that. I'm not going to count those. This guy, Miguel Rojas, he lived, actually when he came to the Marlins, he lived a few blocks from my house. And, I would see him walking around with his dog and stuff, saying hello. And, he would be off most of the time, but I got a good opportunity to talk to his wife a lot because she walked with the kids. They had 2 little kids at the time and the son. And every day she would walk around in front of my house with the kids, and to give them exercise and stuff, and the dog, because they had a dog. So one day I would talk to her a few times. She knew me and stuff, and one day I asked her if I could give her some cards to her son. So I gave her son some Rojas cards, and I asked her if she could get this one signed. So she got it autographed for me, for Miguel, and next thing I know, the card is in my mailbox. I guess she missed me on the walk and stuff, because I also go for walks outside and stuff, as you guys know. So I was able to get that. So it has meaning to me because I got to know him, and I got to know his wife and his sons, and and his son. The other one was a baby. So that just one of those things. Another person that I met, similar to Johnny Vander Meer, was Virgil Trucks. And these are just, players that I have met, and I was able to go at one show many years ago. They'd give you as if you were a dealer there at the show, they'd give you a ticket to the autograph person, and this was Virgil Trucks. And a few people came by, got his autograph, but most of the time Virgil was sitting there just by himself, nobody getting autographs. And I had this card, and I went over there and I sat there and I talked to him for probably 15 minutes, and talking about, baseball and how he got his name. And it's Virgil Fire Trucks, one of the best names in baseball. And he was a great pitcher at the time, but he was a reliever. So he was always called in from the bullpen to put out the fire. Virgil Fire Trucks. And I remember him looking at this card, and, he said, I think I'm going to sign it right along my leg there, because he was looking at it, how to sign it. I was figuring he was just going to sign it right here, but I didn't say anything. And then he had the idea to sign it in the perfect spot, in a perfect autograph. So that's why I love this autograph, because it brings back memories of sitting down and talking to Virgil Trucks, and him telling me where he was going to sign that card. So the top 5 cards that I have, autograph cards, my favorite cards, not necessarily most, because my favorite cards. Number 5, I'm going to go with Jose Canseco. I personally got this autographed back in 1986 at a Specs music store in Miami on South Dixie Highway. And he was there with a girlfriend, a beautiful blonde girlfriend there. And he was signing, and there was a long line all the way around outside the place, because he was from Miami. And, he had become famous. So I think it was 86, maybe it was 87, but it was somewhere around his first years. So I got that autographed by Jose. So those have meaning to me because they were personally autographed, and I got to kind of talk to these people, at least meet them in person. And number 4, I'm gonna go with the Orlando Cepeda rookie card, the Baby Bull. I got this at this year's National, and you know, I'm just a big Orlando Cepeda, and he's got my name, Orlando, on there. So I mean, how could you not like a card with your own name on it, you know? And there aren't a lot of players named Orlando. There's a few of them, but Cepeda is awesome Hall of Famer that I really like. Number 3 in my collection, you know, I'm always fascinated with cards that have been autographed. You know, this is probably a TTN that was sent out to 3 different Hall of Famers, you know, and this is Steve Carlton, Juan Marichal, Steve Carlton, and Bob Gibson. So I picked this up this year in a trade at the local card show here, and there's a Marichal, not the best autographs, but you know, players that I like. I mean, I was a big fan of Steve Carlton and Juan Marichal, of course, Bob Gibson. So I always think about, you know, what that card had to go through and the risk someone took to send it to Marichal, and then getting the Marichal autograph and then sending it to Steve Carlton, you know, and then to Bob Gibson. And luckily they all signed it and returned it. I think that's probably how this came about. So that's just cool. I just like, you know, I think that card's got some history. My second favorite, it goes back to Steve Carlton. It's the Steve Carlton rookie card. I think that Carlton autograph on that is a beautiful card. I also picked this up this year, and I just thought that was just a great card, you know, with one of the best pitchers in history, Steve Carlton. So I think that's gonna probably be my second favorite autograph, and my favorite is one that I picked up in the not this National, last National, and I got it raw and I got it graded, and everybody's seen this. I posted it a million times. It's just my favorite autograph in my collection, and that's the Mini Minoso 53 Bowman color. I went ahead and got it graded and autographed, and the auto grade came out an 8, but I don't care because this will be in my collection, and the way he signed that card and the pose he has on that card, I just can't stop looking at it. It's my favorite autograph card in my collection. So I wanted to share that. So those are some of my autograph cards, and I especially wanted to share the story of the Johnny Vander Meer. Definitely, guys, you got to check out the video. I'm gonna put the link below, and check it out. Thanks a lot for watching my videos. I really appreciate it, guys. Leave some comments, and I'll catch you on the next one. This is Orlando from A Collector's Dream. Thanks for watching.